Hello, everyone, and welcome to TMSM Weekly Live, show number 105 for March 29th. Now, you probably are wondering why I'm sitting here by myself, right? Well, I'm not really by myself. We have Scott sitting next to me. You just can't see him yet. So our format's going to be a little bit different tonight because the first part of our show, we actually have an interview with author Kimberley Bouchard, who is the author of Positively Disney. Now, I know you guys are going to love her because she has a lot in common with the philosophies and stuff that we have at the Main Street Mouse. So I think this is going to be a really great conversation. And you're going to want to stick around for after the interview because Scott and I will be back with our usual updates and let you know everything that's been going on here, plus a little bit about Easter at Walt Disney World. Plus, we're going to talk a little bit about the reopening of Disneyland. So you'll want to stick around for that. So without further ado, I want to bring in Kimberley Bouchard for a fun conversation. So let's do that.
Hi, Michele.
Hi, Kimberley. Everybody, this is Kimberley. She is wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
It is my pleasure always. I love, who doesn't want to talk about Disney, really, you know?
You know what? I have to agree because I seem to talk about it a fair share of time myself. So, and you said you just got back, right? Were you at Walt Disney World?
Yeah, well, I was actually at downtown Disney the other day, and I was actually supposed to be, I was invited to the Taste of Disney at Disney California Adventure today, but I can't do everything. But yeah, I was just at Walt Disney World 2.5 weeks ago in Florida last weekend. So, you know, the opportunities that seem to open up for myself personally is just unbelievable, and I'm so grateful for them, to be honest with you.
I fully understand. So you are the author of Positively Disney, and I would love to talk all about that and how you came up with this idea, and maybe tell our viewers a little bit about the book and the whole concept.
Absolutely. So Positively Disney was sort of, the seed for that was planted on one of many trips of our family. We actually hail from Alberta, Canada, and that didn't keep us away from Walt Disney World at all. I did go to Disneyland as a younger person. My husband, who's in the French-speaking part of Canada, introduced me to Walt Disney World. And even though we were, I don't know, I think over 2,000 miles away, we would still go no matter how many kids we were having. We just loved it. And so what happened basically is several things actually happened where we became very good friends with an astronaut in front of Mission Space that, over 15 years later, we still are good friends. We see each other often. And a river dance show at American Gardens Theater absolutely changed our life path, Michele. We ended up traveling the world for 16 years with our kids because they ended up becoming interested in Irish dancing after seeing a show at the Pavilion. They happened to be good at it. And so, yeah, for 16 years, we traveled the world while they performed and competed. And then just other things that would happen to us on our very first Disney cruise ship. You know, my dad unfortunately passed away while we were on there. And what the Disney cast members did, oh my God, is so amazing. And it really, writing these stories gave me an opportunity, not only me, but others, to thank the cast members for what they do, because what they say and do is so important. And most of the time they would not even realize the impact they were imparting on others. So,
No,
yeah.
I fully agree. Like I told you off camera, we are kindred spirits. I fully understand what you're saying. And I think it's wonderful to share that positivity, especially, people need that so badly in the world, feel good stories and whatnot. So I think that that's really, really great. And so like, what kind of people do you write about? Can you tell us any little stories that you could share with our viewers?
Okay, well, first I'll tell you some of the people that I write about, because they are some guests. They are cast members from 12 different countries in the world. Of course, I've got animators, Imagineers, and the actors. So, for example, I've got Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy. I've got Donald Ross, the voice of Donald Duck, the third voice of Donald Duck, actually. I've got Margaret Carey, the original Tinkerbell, Sherry Alberoni, one of the original Mouseketeers. I've got Jeremy Bulloch, who was the original Boba Fett, Daniel Logan, Lydia Hearst from the Hearst family. Her and Chris Hardwick had a Star Wars themed wedding. Gosh, who else? James Arnold Taylor, who is the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Who else? Oh, Carrie Fisher's stories in there from her brother Todd. Kevin John Jabsinski, he's a master Disney artist. Greg McCullough, who's a master Disney artist. Ron Clements, the writer and director of Little Mermaid and Moana and Hercules and Aladdin. And I mean, the list goes on and on and on, really. And it's so fun to get to know these people, because they all love Disney and or Star Wars, because the 5th book is the Star Wars edition. So yeah. So the 6th book is coming out, and a 7th book this year that's a very special book that I can't let anybody know about, but it's going to blow people's socks off. So anyways, yeah. So the first few books were compilations. The 3rd book was the romance edition that was specific to those that have engagements, that have weddings, that have courtships, all revolving around Disney, which are amazing, really. So okay. Do you want to? Oh, Toddy's on here. Hi, Toddy. So would you like to hear a story? I can share with you one of my earlier stories by a little girl. She was 12 years old, Cassandra Gower, actually back in Canada, way after I had moved from there. But she was in an underprivileged neighborhood. She really did not have a lot, and she and her sister were chosen by an after-school program for at-risk children to come and do their homework or have a meal and so on, to go for a one-day trip to Disneyland. This child was transformed after that day at Disneyland when she saw what Disney was all about, how they were acknowledged, how they were treated. And basically, she buckled down, got her grades up. She is the first person in her family for generations to graduate high school and to go to college, because she wanted to be back at Disney and knew she had to lift herself out of poverty, which is so amazing. This little girl so transformed her life. I have another story, which nobody has actually heard this one before live. So I wanted to share it with you, because Disney impacts us in a real variety of ways, the whole gamut, really. And this little boy, Will Dabbs, was fine until he was about 14 months old, and then he lost his capacity to speak. What happened is a diagnosis for on the autism spectrum came 4 months later, and his mother was determined to hear her son say "mama" again. This lady knew her son had loved Toy Story. Buzz and Woody, they were his heroes. So every night she sat him down and she would say, "Draw Woody, Mama," and she would start drawing the character, and she would go on and do as many characters as possible. She wasn't an artist, but she said she could get across the idea of what character. She did that those days turned into weeks, turned into months, turned into years. By the December of the 2nd year, all of a sudden, before she started, her little guy, who had not spoken a word for nearly 2 years, said, "Draw Woody, Mama." And then she started drawing, and then his capacity to speak started coming back. It was like he relearned to talk, and his love for Toy Story and the characters and the films started the conversation. So now he is a young man of 21. He has a photographic memory. He draws the characters perfectly. He's an amazing young man and communicates with his family. And it was all because of that love for Disney and being able to draw him out. His mom drew him out so she could hear her son again. Isn't that amazing?
That's wonderful. That is so heartwarming. Oh my
I
gosh.
know. It's powerful. You know, these stories are powerful. People don't realize how powerful Disney is, really. And you know, so my books were actually endorsed by Jack Canfield of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. And so, if anybody knows about chicken soup for the soul, you usually need to have a box of tissues next to you, right? And I suggest that too with people. And I always say, read from the first story to the end in order, just because I don't want people crying throughout the books. And you know what? My mom didn't listen to me until she got to the fourth book. And I was trying to convince her to read it in order so that she wouldn't be blubbering throughout the whole thing. Because I lead people up to it and then drop them into that, and it speaks to the human condition. These are, not every story will make you cry, but it touches deeply. It touches you deeply.
And I think that I always tell people, and when it comes to Disney, either you get it or you don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And those of us that get it, we truly get it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things that, I don't know about you, but I'm always trying to be like the advocate for what Disney does to people and the happiness it brings and the stories that you hear because of people's love of Disney. So I very much appreciate you sharing that kind of story with me and with our watchers and through your books, because I think that stuff like that is so positive and so important, and I just think it's amazing.
It really is. And for those people that think it's just a park, I mean, it's far more than a park, and it's very transforming. And Disney, Star Wars, the whole thing. And I think that I just feel like I have a great responsibility to share the message and serve humankind, really, with inspiration of something that is so much bigger than myself. um Walt, this is all about families, and the sense of belonging and the sense of feeling welcome. That is so important, especially today. And that's what my books portray. Everybody can understand and relate to something in the books, but we all have stories. We are some of our stories, and so that's how we relate to each other, and so that can relate to many of the emotions that we have in the books.
What do you think is the best part of what you do? Like, what is the part that you enjoy the most about doing this?
I'd have to say a couple things. So one of the things that I love the best is when someone has read their story or read the book and they are touched and share that with me. They're so inspired by my words. And honestly, like, I think, gosh, when I write, I feel like the words are coming from somewhere else, if that makes any sense, that that I'm just the vessel.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised sometimes, about how stories turn out. And I'm so grateful that and that makes me happy that I can make just a little difference in somebody's life. And then the second thing is I get to meet all the good people in the world. I really do. And if I have an opportunity to meet one of the contributors, I do. I found myself in the living room in Glasgow, Scotland, with one of the contributors, I think from book 2 or something like that one year. So I try to meet the people that have shared their stories with me.
That's great. So did you always, look, it's going to be maybe a silly question. I hope I'm asking right. So Did you always have that feeling of Disney magic, so to speak? Did you always feel that there was something like that there, or is it something that you learned over time?
Well, I think as a young child, when you see the wonderful world of Disney on the television, that really took me to another place. I had no idea that there really was a place, called Disney that you could visit. And so I think with just seeing that and loving the stories, I'm always about the story. And so, I've seen a lot of them on that show Sunday nights. And I think I have to say, in all honesty, that is where the magic began for me. But it wasn't really until, I would have to say, it wasn't until those things specifically started happening to our family or to me that I realized, gosh, there's something way more here than just an attraction or the food or the smells or the yeah. So
That's great.
mm.
Like I said, I'm so on the same page with you. Because for myself too, I think it's one of those things that, like you say, if it starts when you're a child, and once you get bit with that Disney bug, it just grows and grows and grows, and then you want everybody around you, your family, your kids, to have that same happiness that you do when it
Oh,
comes to these
absolutely.
things.
My husband used to say that he was the biggest fan of Disney, and now I've surpassed him.
And right.
Yeah.
um so I really applaud you for doing this, because I think sharing Disney magic, especially these days, is so important. And I wanted to ask you before when we wrap up anything, Disney fan to Disney fan, what's your favorite parts about going to the parks? Like, what's your favorite attraction? What is on your must-do list when you go to the park?
Okay. Well, if it's Magic Kingdom, for sure, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, and Carousel of Progress. I love Carousel of Progress. I don't know. I like nostalgia. Definitely Flight of Passage. Oh my gosh. I was almost in tears the first time I rode that. And Rise of the Resistance just blows me away. Of course, Smuggler's Run, but those are sort of, would have to say they're my top ones that I have to see. I am not a big roller coaster person. I kind of cry on a roller coaster, so it's not fun for me. I know, is that terrible? My mother-in-law, my 80-year-old mother-in-law, she loves roller coasters, but I just can't do it. I'm the bag lady. I'm the one holding everybody's bag. When my family goes on.
I'm the mom of two boys, and the teenage boys, and they say, "Mom, we're going on the roller coaster." They say "we," so I have to take Dramamine or something for motion before
Really?
before I go on rides with the boys. My husband is
Okay.
usually the one. It's like I can't. My husband holds the bags.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, good for you.
But I go with the boys. So Disney World and Disneyland, there's such an affection for both.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I was strictly a Walt Disney World girl, because I had never been to the one in California. A few years back, we got invited to go cover D23 in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to see Walt's original park. And I didn't fully, like I said, either you get it or you don't. I didn't fully understand that nostalgia and just the feeling of being there until I was actually there, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So do you have that same affection towards Disneyland? And is there anything that's a favorite of yours out there?
I have to tell you, just actually walking the same steps that he walked just does it for me all the time. To see the lamp lit over the fire hall, that his spirit is still there. You can't get, I'm a Walt Disney World fanatic, but you cannot get that anywhere else. And seeing the tree that Walt had given Lillian, that the piece of petrified wood, just that, he touched these things. He walked this walk. I can't explain it. It's almost like a spiritual thing, to be honest with you, when you go to Disneyland. And Disneyland is such a different type of park than Walt Disney World for me personally. I went to Disneyland first. That was my first park. I grew up in Western Canada. So I visited when I was 12, when I was 18, and I think when I was 26 or something. And then I got introduced to Walt Disney World with my husband. So Yeah, it is a very different park. And I have to tell you, have you seen the Phantasmic shows at both parks?
I have.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I didn't know that Disneyland could pull off a Phantasmic that fantastic
Oh,
at their park, at their smaller park. And I love the pirate ship. Oh my gosh, I love the pirate ship. That's like one of my favorite parts of the whole thing, you know. But it's just, I mean, it is a different Disney experience. I've been to Disneyland Paris as well, which is a whole other entire different experience as well. But it's, no, there's something truly humbling to know that that was the first park, and then to go to Griffith Park and to walk in those steps and go to the barn where, you know, he had all his trains. I mean, this is just, that's historical. And that to me, we need to remember where it all started. And yes, it's all started from a mouse, but it also all started at Disneyland too.
oh yeah. You almost made me cry for a second there, because I know the first time I went to Disneyland and saw the castle, and at first my first impression was it's so small compared.
Yeah, I know,
to
I know. Yeah, I know.
we see at Walt Disney World. But you know,
Yeah.
honestly, the first time walking through Sleeping Beauty Castle, I had tears, because it, just like you said, it's such a connection being out there walking, and you see all those pictures of Walt walking through the castle, and to be able to follow those footsteps is just
Yeah,
amazing.
it is.
You know,
It
it
really
really
is.
is. No,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm watching some of the comments that we're getting on the feed, and everybody else is getting all in their feelings too about what you were saying. Because it's so true, you know,
It
like
is.
us Disney fans, these things are so important. So,
Well, you know, when I saw, you know, Wonderful World of Disney, and you see Tinkerbell, you know, with her wand and that castle, it was so amazing to see that that castle was real. Because not everything on television, of course, is real, especially as a child. But to actually see it when you're a young person at 12, I can't, words, there are not enough words to explain really what it felt like to see that, except the fact that it was a bit smaller than what you thought it would be. You know, but
a little
yeah,
bit.
just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. But no, no, it's absolutely amazing. And what a journey I've been on, with this whole thing too. It's, that's kind of mind boggling myself, you know, what is, yeah, to do what I love to do and be happy doing it is wonderful.
Of course. And before we wrap, I could talk to you about this stuff for hours.
I know this could be a 3-hour show.
It could be, because I'm so, like I said, I'm so on the same page with you. This is so wonderful. As far as, you know, I know for me, I've gotten to do a lot of wonderful things because of my job, and I know that you have as well. Is there anything that has stood out to you in this journey since you started writing books and all these wonderful things that you've gotten to do? Is there something that sticks out specifically that's been like a high point of your career?
Oh my gosh. That's a question that's really hard. But I think it's when I met my first Disney animator at an Irish dance competition, and he agreed to be in my first book. So it's all these yeses that I get from people that want to be a part of my projects. I think those are little bursts of highlights for me. Actually meeting folks, and for some reason they actually become friends. You know, it's a wonderful thing. It's something that is ongoing. It's not just one particular moment, but it's multiple. And it seems like, you know, if somebody asks you who's your favorite child, I don't have a favorite child. It's exponential, you know, in your love for that. And I have to say that, you know, those little moments have changed and grown exponentially, really, for me. So, but you know, I shouldn't say little things, but you know, meeting our astronaut friend in front of Space Mountain, and going behind the scenes and all of that, not Space Mountain, Mission Space, sorry, and going all behind the scenes, and just picking Margaret Carey up, our little Tinkerbell, at her house and going out for lunch and then visiting her and her husband at her house and spending some time hanging out. All these things, being invited to do some behind the scenes stuff, even though I'm Washington State and I can hop on a plane anytime. To me, that's kind of neat. That's a nice residual thing of what I do. I'm very blessed. I have a very blessed life, and I'm grateful that my husband is a huge Disney fan too. And now that our kids are a little bit older, we can go on our own once in a while. And I feel like I'm dating my husband at Disney when I go to Disney with him. So it's all good. Yeah.
No, that's good too. Yeah, those Disney dates are like the best kind.
Yeah, I know, aren't they?
They really are. I always tell people it doesn't matter how old you are, or there is no, everybody's a kid at Disney.
Oh yes.
Everybody is. You walk through those doors, and it just one of my favorite things, and I'm sure you can relate, is it's like when you walk through the gates of a park, the outside world just doesn't exist anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. That's the only place. I've traveled many places in the world, and that's the only place I can truly leave my worries at the gate. It is.
It really, really is. It's something that, we try to explain to people, and then when you actually get them to come to the parks, they get it, because it's such a magical experience. This has been so great, and I would love to have you back on sometime, because I'm sure our audience would love to hear more stories from you, if that would be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. No, it's absolutely been my pleasure, and it's so nice to meet you. Not that we're in the same venue here, but it's as best we can do, right?
Right. And so before we go, you were talking about the projects and such. What is going on currently, and what is next for you?
Okay, so I'm writing book 6, which is another compilation of stories. So you'll see Bob Gurr's story in there. You'll see Bill Farmer's story in there. You see Paige O'Hara's story in there, and a whole lot of stories in there, actually. I've got a secret book 7 that is coming out this year that I can't say anything about. But I'm also, I have actually my 4th season of my podcast finishing up in May. I do the Positively Disney podcast and have all kinds of folks on there as well, which I absolutely love. I can only write so fast, and it's maybe I will share to the world now that we are actually in the process of buying a second home in Florida. That's the back and forth trips. We found a place, and we're just we're gonna officially have it in April. So pretty excited about that.
That's exciting. Congratulations.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah.
And so you said you have a podcast. Is there any, just look under Positively Disney on social media for you, or how do they find you?
Yeah. So on Facebook, Positively Disney Book is my, where you could find the podcast, and that I'm on iHeartRadio, all those good places, and Kimberley Bouchard with an EY. If you find me on Facebook with my Minnie Mouse polka dots around me, and my books, all the books are on Amazon. You can order them on Amazon. They're on Kindle, and you can order them in any of your local bookstores also.
Okay, wonderful. And then what I'm going to do, everyone, when we are done with our show, I will put links so that you can find Kimberley in our comment section. So just in case there's any, if you can't find her, we're going to make sure that you can find her so that you can follow her and you can read her books and listen to her podcast, because she is absolutely magical and amazing. Thank you so much, Kimberley. I'm so glad that you joined us tonight. And hopefully we'll get to see you again sometime, because
absolutely.
When you go back and see the comments, everybody is loving you and your stories. And I really appreciate you taking the time. And thank you. And congratulations on your home. And
thank you. Thank you, Michelle. I know I'm so excited. I can barely sleep these days with everything going on. But it was so nice to meet you. And thank you so much for having me anytime. Just I'm open to being on again.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. And we will see you real soon.
All right. Good night. Bye.
I'm here now.
Oh.
Like I did that?
Let me pull it.
Yeah, you can't have those in anymore if I'm here now.
Did this work? And
It should be. They should all be seeing us.
Why do we look so
far away.
I think because you're just used because you've been so close and your computer's in
And my
there.
computer's in my face.
So move your computer out.
Can you guys hear us all right?
Yeah, I'll let them catch up. They're a few seconds behind us, but you're already pulled off. So they should be seeing us here in a moment. And I didn't get to say it, so welcome home. Shane said it for me, so I did see that.
I missed that part?
I was following along in the comments there. That was an awesome interview. Kimberly was great to talk to.
Yeah,
She
she
really
was. I don't know where to
awesome.
look now, though.
Yes, they cannot see us. So you're supposed to be looking at your usual camera. Close your computer.
Should I close?
Yeah, you can close it.
You know, I have to know where I'm supposed to go. I get all confused. Sorry.
12 o'clock. So did you guys enjoy that? That came out really well, I think. It was a good interview.
She is so our people, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got to talk to her for a few minutes before the interview started, and oh, you guys, she gets it. She gets all of it and then some. I mean, she's so our people. That's fun.
Becky, she's a great gal, so Becky knows her.
Yes. So I could listen to her talk for a long time. So we're going to definitely try to get her back on the show.
I don't think it'll be a problem.
I don't think it'll be a problem.
No, I think we can.
I think she might have liked us a little bit, so that's good.
Hopefully.
Might
find out later. She don't like it at all. Never coming back.
Maybe. See, and I was very professional. She didn't get the silly side of me, but now that it's just us.
Now let's talk about food.
Let's hop to it, right?
Is there really any other reason to watch the show but for the food?
Well, okay, so
it's been 3 weeks since we've been on.
That's what I was gonna say.
And it's been a nightmare.
Do we really want to start like
I was just saying that's why for somebody who's not been here for 3 weeks or is new, because there was somebody new, they don't know why we weren't here.
Oh. Okay, so I didn't really talk about it a lot except for on my personal Facebook wall, but not on the business pages. So for those of you that don't know, our house flooded.
Our house flooded.
Our house like literally flooded.
Yeah, our second floor, a pipe burst in the bathroom up there, and we weren't home. Luckily, we were home within 90 minutes of approximately happening, so we didn't have complete and total damage, but we walked in and it was like water sprinkles coming from all our
I keep telling people
from our light fixtures and everything else. So it was a mess, and that's the reason we weren't on last week. We've been doing so much work. We were supposed to have the show last week with Kimberly. We had to postpone it because we just weren't ready yet. We've been working so hard to get everything done, new drywall, new painting, new fixing everything. It's been a nightmare.
And the house still is not done. We got this room mostly done just for you guys, but the room over here is not done. We're gonna have to like rent scaffolding to finish the paint. I'm just so tired of housework. I'm so tired. It's just been really stressful. But and plus putting your house under renovation because of flood damage and water damage, and still doing your job at the same time, because we're still running Lost Princess Carol, we're still doing Main Street Mouse stuff, so it's just been a lot.
It was just funny because that day Aiden mostly is homeschooled, but he had testing, so he was actually at school that day. So Michele dropped me and Andrew off at the office. She was gonna come back there, but she was gonna pick up Aiden, bring Aiden home. That was the whole plan. Usually Aiden would have been home, but
we should have been home that morning.
So she calls me as she was coming through. For some reason, she was having a hard time getting in the door for some reason, which never happened before. And she called me on the phone, and as soon as she opened the door, all I heard was screaming, yelling, and I was like, what is it? And nobody would answer me. And then when she finally did tell me, I was like, come get me, because I didn't have a car. She dropped me off. I was like, come get me there quick so I can get the water shut off, the power, everything else. And it was a mess. It was a mess.
It was very bad.
It was.
However, the dogs were fine. And
Shane said the paint is called the gray stuff gray.
The gray stuff gray. Yeah, and yours truly can't come up with paint colors, and I've been asking my poor Facebook friends to help me. It's just been really challenging because when you're not expecting to have to redo rooms in your house.
That you didn't plan on. Especially, we have 20-foot ceilings in the main room, where the drywall had to be replaced. So that's why we have to rent scaffolding, because to get to the top, we have to do that. So.
Just bad, and we're still not done.
But we've had a lot of friends kick in to help us out. new drywall. Rusty came over, helped us put the new drywall and the painting and sanding and
Yeah.
getting everything else done.
And we're still not done. Did I mention that? We're still not done.
It was funny because we were all gung ho when we first started working. Like, we're gonna get this done quick, and then it was like within like 3 days, we're like, okay, I'm tired.
Well, actually, no. In the past few days, like you've lost your drive.
I've lost my drive for it, and I know I gotta get back. So we're to the point now. It's like we're almost done, so I just need to get that scaffolding up there and get the walls painted and be done.
It's been fantastic.
It has.
Yeah.
I think we need to go to Disney tomorrow for you.
No, we have to get it done. But okay, so we did. Speaking of Disney, we did take a time out from home repair on Saturday. We went to Epcot to go to the Flower and Garden Festival because the boys had not been yet. So we kind of like took a family timeout day. And oddly, it was not that busy on Saturday.
It really wasn't. It was very weird.
No, and you know what's funny is I posted something on Instagram about the parks not being busy Saturday, and then somebody commented that just the day before on Friday she said it was packed, like totally slammed. I don't know. We usually don't hit it perfectly. Usually it's the busiest on the days we go.
I wonder if that was maybe a travel day for a lot of people, so that's why maybe it wasn't, or maybe they were taking. It was a really hot day on Saturday, so maybe a lot of people.
It's been hot here.
So many people at the pool and such, but it was great actually that it wasn't that crowded. It was kind of nice to be able to walk around the world and not have running into people and such.
Or, you know, another thing is when you go to the festivals at Epcot, a lot of the, I don't want to say problems, but issues or whatever is when it's crowded, you can't get in line, or it takes forever to stand in line to get the specialty food at the different kiosks. And we didn't have to wait for anything. We even went in World Showplace and there was nobody in there. It was just very strange to me. Like, I don't understand why. Now, the whole week before that, though, you know, everybody has different spring break times. So, like, between, like, mid-March and the end of April or, you know, like a week or two after Easter is, like, our busiest times here. So, Florida spring break was the week after our house flooded. And you could not get reservations for the parks, like, at all. I mean,
until, like, the following Wednesday.
Yeah, there were no reservations, you know, and normally if it was busy or not, you could just go to the park. But now that they have a reservation system, it was a big deal down here. It was like on the news and everything, like, you know, no reservations for the whole week and all this stuff. So. And
that actually was a signal to us, let's just stay home because we're not going to go there when it's like that. It's just
well, we couldn't have anyway because we couldn't get a reservation. I mean, even as annual pass holders, if there's no reservations, there's no reservation.
Right. So that's why I had made when I first saw the availability came for Epcot on Saturday, I figured, well, you know what, let's go ahead and let's get that booked. She wanted to take the boys, and Saturday works, Aiden has no school, so it worked out good.
It did, and we wanted to. I wanted to because we had been in the house for 2 weeks working, and I was starting to get like that mother's guilt because we have not taken them really anywhere. We haven't gone anywhere except to Lowe's to buy paint. And
actually, that's not 100% true. The week before, we went to the festival, Mount Doris Festival.
Oh, we did. I forgot. But I'm just saying, we haven't been out of the
No,
house.
we haven't been anywhere that the boys would consider fun.
Like the festival.
I know, but they like malls and they like parks.
That's true. So anyway.
Our food. Which on Epcot, we did go to Viennapoli, so that made the day. That was a good way to start the day.
So that was another incentive to go. You know, so we wanted to give the boys a day out. So, you know, like I said, guilt and the whole thing. So they love Viennapoli. So did this one over here. So
I need to make one for my birthday now.
Yes. And so it was funny because I posted pictures of the pizza last night. Did you guys see the picture of the big pizza I put on Main Street Mouse?
It's the 1.5 meter is what it's.
It's the big pizza. So, and I noticed somebody commented and said something about it being expensive pizza. And hold on. I'm gonna let you explain why it's not. And I didn't say anything in the comment section only because I was gonna bring it up tonight, and I just didn't feel like going round and round. Everybody's been so touchy online lately, so I just didn't want to, you know, whatever. But if you think about how much you spend at a walk-up as opposed to how much you're going to spend for this pizza, there was 4 of us that ate for we have pizza cheaper than what it is to go to walk-up. That's what I was going to tell you.
It is, and you're right. It's not going to be Little Caesar's pricing. It's not going to be Hungry Howie's pricing. It's Viennapoli, so it's handmade pizza. It's cooked in brick ovens. And it tastes
real
amazing.
mozzarella
It's real
cheese.
mozzarella. It's so the big pizza we do. Michele and Aiden don't eat the pepperoni. Me and Andrew do, so we get half pepperoni, half margarita pizza with just cheese. It's $44. And then you get your annual pass holder discount on top of that, which I believe is 15% off of there. So you're looking at it's under $40 for all of us to have the pizza. We don't finish it. There was, I think, 3 or 4 slices left on the pan because it is filling. So if you really look at it compared to other Disney prices of what you'll pay to get burgers, chicken nuggets, Uncrustables, even Uncrustables, it's great
even
deal.
Uncrustables like $7 or $8.
Yeah, so it is. So people, I can see where somebody says $44 for a pizza. Well, yeah, it is. Compared to pizza prices, it's expensive. But compared to other
Disney prices,
sit-down
it's
food
not.
places, because if you go over to Sunshine Seasons, is that the name of it, over in the Soaring Building?
Yeah, that's the one I always get confused.
Yeah, there you get a slice of pizza, a little bit of pasta salad, and it's 11 something. And I'm always hungry when I get that. So after I eat that, so it's like you don't get a lot, and that's 11. So 4 of us would be 44 for that. So it's actually. It's better pricing for the pizza, and it's good.
Yeah, we've had a really hard time finding good pizza here, as you know, since we moved from Michigan, and that's the only pizza, me personally, that I actually like is at Via Napoli. Blaze Pizza is all right.
Yeah, but Via Napoli also is the same pizza at Pizza Ponte at Disney Springs, right next to
Maria
Nenzo's. And also there's the pizza walk-up window, which we haven't seen open, so I don't know if it's a weekend thing only in Epcot, but the pizza window, which is next door to Via Napoli, where you can walk up there and get a slice, that was open as well.
Walk-up pizza.
Walk-up pizza is fantastic. And the pizza there, I think I want to say $7 to $8 a slice, and that's a double-sized slice. It's huge.
They're big.
So, and same with the Pizza Ponte in Disney Springs. It's the one piece of pizza I want to say is 15 inches.
It hangs off the plate, and
it's
sometimes
2
they
paper
give
plates.
you 2 plates.
Yeah.
Full.
So me and her, the first time we got it, we're like, oh, we'll just get. We were with Panda. Panda's like, one, you split it, you'll be fine. So we got one slice, and we actually split it. And I'm like, it's one slice of pizza. I'm not gonna, and then we ate it, and then we split one piece of pizza between the 2 of us, so it worked out perfectly. You know, like my Johnny impression?
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's one piece, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Yeah. Well, anyway, so pizza's good. Let's just say that.
Yes. The only problem was we were there to try different food booths because the Boy Sand Sandwich. We were also full that we didn't really get to try much.
That's true. Because when we walked in, the boys are looking at the passport, you know, for the food booths, and they're like, I want to try this, I want to try that. And then once we ate, they were kind of like, oh, I'm full.
I don't think they tried anything.
We didn't. I gave them, like typical teenagers, so I gave them each money to spend that they could buy food. And they ended up not buying food. They bought little souvenir things.
Andrew bought coffee.
Oh, Andrew bought a coffee. Aiden bought an umbrella. Don't ask. And so I'm like, you're supposed to be buying food. But they did have a good time. They ate lots of pizza. We went into World Show Place, and like I've been trying to stay on my diet, and it's been so hard. It's been so hard. So they went in. So they were looking for something. They were doing the
We were doing the scavenger hunt. One of the things was in there for any of those who are trying to find one of the scavenger hunts for Spike the Bee.
Oh, I thought we'd talk about that in a second, because I want to talk about that.
Go ahead.
But anyway, so we went in there, and while I was waiting for him and Andrew to find what they were looking for, they had I was standing in front of the booth that has the key lime tart, and all of a sudden, before I even realized that I was standing in line buying said key lime tarts,
about 25, 30 minutes after we just ate, when she said, I am so full, I can't eat another bite.
I was full.
And here I am standing there, because the same booth, the key lime tart, is also the burnt ends pork slider at the same booth. And I'm standing there looking at her going, she's buying that. I wonder if I should go up there and buy the slider. I mean, that's how I was thinking. Because if she's buying it, then I can easily say, well, I want something too. Because you can't say, aren't you full?
So I originally wanted to go, so they have this special funnel cake sundae back in by the America Pavilion. And when we got there, that was my whole idea. Like, if I'm going to have a splurge, if I'm going to cheat on my diet big time, I was going to get the funnel cake ice cream. But I was too full.
Too full.
And I got the flippin' key lime tart. And they're small. Just in my defense, they're small.
They are small.
And I made Aiden try some of it. And I do scrape the meringue off. So I basically just eat the shell and the lime stuff. I don't like meringue.
I would eat the whole slider. I might try the sugar coated. If pieces would have fallen off, I would pick them up like those.
Well, yeah. All right, so.
I did have my spoon bread, though. spoon cornbread.
See, now that looks so gross to me.
See, I love it. The spoon cornbread is at the bee booth, which is right across from the Starbucks. And it's
the
like
honeybee booth or something.
But it's a corn. If you know what a spoon bread is, it's with corn, jalapeno, bacon, and then they put a whipped honey butter on top of it. It's really good.
It didn't look good.
It's
but,
delicious.
You know.
Don't go by her, miss. I pushed the meringue off my key one time.
I did. I just take it. I just scrape all the meringue off. I don't even really like lime all that much, but there's something about key lime. Do you guys ever do that? Like have like a dessert or food or whatever that you normally are not real wild about, but there's like some other variant of said food that you sort of like. Does that make sense?
I guess.
Like, okay, so I don't like cherries, but I like cherry flavored candy.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same thing.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay, so it's kind of like with lime. Like I could go for like a lime cheesecake. And that kind of reminds me of a little bit because of the graham cracker crust. Okay, I'm going to shut up about the lime. So anyway, so we went, he mentioned scavenger hunt and being.
I agree, Shane.
What he said, what?
He said me and him need to hit the festival together. Let's go.
I'll just go for the desserts.
We'll leave her in Joe Place and we'll hit the other.
I'll be eating my
12 lime pies later. She's like, let me out.
Yeah. Oh, I'll just be in there scraping meringue off of the tart.
Yeah, pile of meringue. All her empty plates stacked up.
Oh my goodness. So we want, like I said, we wanted to give the kids like a good day out because we haven't had that again, flood damage. So I asked the boys if they were interested in doing the Spike the Bees scavenger hunt. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, Spike the Bee, and it's a little bit different with Spike. Where the other ones you have to either look for the Easter egg or whatever they be. But the Spike the Bee one, not only do you have to find Spike, but you have to match up the food item or the seasoning.
There's a sticker.
There's a sticker that you have to match up to where you saw him in which area. So it's more of a, you really got to look for him and find him in the different areas.
I think the eggs are too easy. By the way, the egg hunt at World Showcase is going on right now as well. It
And
just
what,
started.
Sunday?
No, I think it goes on to like the week after Easter because like we were talking about different spring break times.
Oh, gotcha.
Some in the north come here after Easter and some before.
Makes sense.
But anyway, so the you get these little like flower looking things with stickers. So I gave each boy a little map and a sticker. And you know, they're teenage boys. I'm like, are they gonna want to do this?
Andrew is very competitive about finding stuff.
They totally loved it.
Yeah. So Andrew, like, I'm like keeping an eye on. Andrew's like, there it is, and then he's like walking past you to the next one where it is. Like, oh, I found it.
And then we were like, towards the end of the evening, we were getting a little bit tired, and Aiden was like getting tired. And I said, well, we could always Google online to see where we only had a couple stickers left, or we could make educated guesses as far as what sticker goes where at the end.
Well, we couldn't find two of the gardens, and actually we did find them after we made educated guesses.
Yeah. So, but here's the crappy part, and I usually don't complain, but it's not really a complaint. It was more inconvenience. So on the map, it'll tell you where to go get your prize from once your stickers are done. And the prizes, like each map gets a set of 2 Disney plates.
I know we should have brought them on here. I didn't think.
And they're right there.
So they're like probably 8-inch plates with different
little plastic plates.
Yeah, they're nice. They're good for kids, actually.
Huh?
They're good for kids.
Kids, I use them.
Yeah, she'll put a sandwich on.
She'll
put her key lime tart on there.
I still have Andrew's Blue's Clues bowl from when he was little. I have Aiden's Dora the Explorer plate and bowls. I keep all that stuff. Oh, Mickey Mouse. Like, I just keep all that stuff from the kids, and I use it. Like, anyway, I'm gonna use the plates. But I wanted one of each kind. There's 4 different. There's like mini. There's the bee. There's Figment and Orange Bird. So you get 4 plates. But I got 2 minis and 2 bees.
They didn't have the other 2, so I don't know if they come out another time or if they're actually out of them. We're not sure.
They didn't have it, so they didn't have it. Anyway, so the map says 3 locations where you go to get your prizes for the scavenger hunt. And one of the places, the lady said, no, you have to go to a kiosk. So then I looked at the map and it said Mouse Gear. Now, you know, Mouse Gear is all the way at the front of the park, the temporary Mouse Gear. And we went into walked all the way up there.
As we're leaving, we figured we'll just hit that on the way out.
And then the lady in there was like, oh, no, you can't get that here. And I'm like, but it says it on the map. And she kind of like barked back at me and she's like, no. So I put the kids on a bench and him and I had to walk all the way back to the kiosk in World Show Place.
And it's where Duffy used to be, is where they ended up, if you know where that is.
I was not about to walk out of there without my plates.
We could have easily gotten them the next time we went to Epcot, but she wanted them that night, so we went back there.
I was not going to leave without my plates. I mean,
that's okay. We walked off another quarter slice of pizza.
I know. I was like, I told the boys we had to go all the way back to the middle of the park, and they just looked at me like,
okay, we'll go.
And I was like, how about this? How about you guys go find a place to sit, and we'll go get the plates. So just make a mental note. There is a kiosk where Duffy used to be. That's where you get your prize.
And right across from the store where you actually buy the map. The scavenger hunt.
Right. So don't go by what the map says. At least not right now. Maybe they'll change it, but that's just yeah.
It's an easy one though, in my opinion. Just you have more of the prizes at each station that you say they're going to be at.
Yeah, but they only had 2. Like I wanted to get the Orange Bird one, and they didn't have it. And I thought the other one was Mickey, but it was actually Figment. But I think it's Plant Figment.
And she loves Figment.
I don't like Figment, but it's the topiary Figment. It's not the annoying Figment. It's the topiary.
I'm gonna do a Figment Sunny Eclipse mashup for you.
No, you're not, because no. But anyway, so they had the 4 plates that I want. Now I have to go back and play again and get the other 2. That's the goal. But at least I know where the stickers go now, so I don't.
Oh yeah, we'll buy walk around the store and turn around.
I'm just gonna put the stickers like where they go.
They'll probably move them around then. They'd be like, this isn't where they go. They did 2 weeks ago. We moved them.
However, I'm not gonna say that this is how it is all the time. But they didn't even really check. They looked at the map and they stamped it and gave you plates. She didn't see if we did it right or not.
See, we should put like a removable sticker with a stamp.
A what?
That way when they stamp, we can just take the sticker off there. Her stamp goes away and you turn it in again.
That's scamming. We don't do that.
You're right. We don't scam.
We don't. We'll have to go back and get more plates. But anyway, so my whole point was the scavenger hunt is fun. So if you are interested and you're going to go to Epcot, I think it adds a little bit more, little extra something to do as you're walking around the World Showcase.
The plates really are worth it because it was with our annual pass holder discount. It was $13.50, I think, and we got 4 plates.
Got 4 plates.
So that's not a bad souvenir.
I love souvenirs too. I mean,
I would have never gotten that.
I love it. Anyway, so what we did, we saw it all, and we did a good job.
Liz said you're not required to do it all.
Oh, what?
Liz said you're not required to do it all.
Oh, well, good to know now.
She wanted to keep the boys something to look forward to as we're walking around the world.
And it worked. And if you have children that are not babies anymore, like I do, it kind of did my heart good to see them enjoying something as simple as walking around looking for things and putting stickers on a piece of paper. It made me really happy. And I think that it's one of those things that, the house is a mess, there's water damage, there was holes in the walls, holes in the ceiling. And, you kind of lose track sometimes of, yes, things are just awful right now, but at the end of the day, we still have each other and we're fine. And it just makes you appreciate things, if that makes sense. So yeah, things were bad, but then, spending family time was just what I needed to kind of, refresh my.
And as horrible as the house was, it could have been 10 times worse. The ceiling could have caved in on us. The dogs were okay. They didn't even get to the water to where the dogs were, so they were safe. So we didn't lose anything in that aspect. We lost a few little things here and there, but nothing that was major. We were all healthy, like she said. When we got home, the first thing I did was shut off the power in the water. We didn't know. We
had water coming from our light fixtures, you guys.
Just pouring down from the ceiling.
Like the ceiling, we have the lighting in the ceiling, and there was water coming from the light fixtures. The whole house was flooded, except for the back area where we crate the dogs when we're not home because they can't be trusted. So they were in their cages watching Travel Channel like usual.
They probably didn't know anything was going on.
They didn't even know because the water stopped in that hallway. And it's like one of the only places that didn't have water was where my fur babies were.
And the second floor is not over that room, so
yeah,
we're fortunate.
So you there's bad, but then there's good, and I think that I'm just trying my best to try to stay upbeat. And
it's hard. You walk in, and you see water all over, 2 inches of water in your house, and you're like, oh my god! And it was pouring out the front door, it was pouring out through the garage door, so it was bad. But But the company came. We hired the company to come in here, and they had all their machines for, I don't know how we did it, for 4 days. They had machines running in this house 24/7. Dehumidifiers, we had 4 of those. We had 30 fans at one point that were circulating.
And we couldn't hear. That's another reason why we couldn't have a show. You know, there's fans.
We couldn't hear each other.
We couldn't hear each other. You guys, we couldn't hear the TV. There were so many fans in this house. It felt like you were standing on the runway at the airport. Like when just that constant loud blowing noise. And when 4 days of it went by, and when they came and they took all the fans out, it felt really weird in the house. Everyone's like,
it was weird because as they took out one fan, we noticed one fan was gone. There's still like 28 of them going. We're like, it's a little bit quieter. We looked into getting a hotel room just for the night, even though we knew how expensive this was going to be. We're like, you know what, we got to sleep tonight. Let's just find an affordable hotel close by that we can do it. And we found one we thought it was all great, and then they didn't take the dogs. And she's like, nope, we're not.
Well, plus it was when I was talking a little while ago about how everything was booked for that Florida spring break. There were no hotels available because everybody is off school and in town, and so we were kind of stuck in our little airport runway with the water and everything else. And you know, I think I'll feel better once that room is done and we can actually put our house back together. Yeah. But it's getting there.
It'll be there. Probably by the weekend for sure. We should be back to normal. We should.
It better be. You got to get your ambition back.
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it right now. We'll get a scalpel. Actually, all we got to do is paint in there and paint the ceiling and we're done.
Yeah, well, the ceiling is not looking so great.
Paint the ceiling, paint the walls, and we're done. Okay, we got it.
Okay, so there's a reason that we have to make sure everything is done soon. Because we are working at the Huntsville Pop Culture and something Expo. I can never remember.
HSVXpo.com in Huntsville, Alabama. We will be there next weekend. The show is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you're in the Huntsville area, you can go to hsvexpo.com to get more information about the show. We are at booth number 51, I think it is. So come find us there. It's a corner booth we have. We are also doing 2 panels. One on Saturday, one on Sunday, about Disney.
Yeah, so if you're going to be at the convention in Huntsville, come listen to us talk Disney. And I think they stream that too, don't they?
I believe they do. They streamed the last time they did stream live from on their Facebook page. So if you just want to, if you're not in the area, you want to watch it, go out to their Facebook page. I think you're going to post the times, or you did post the times.
I didn't post it yet, but I'm going to. So in the next week and a half before we get ready to go. I will definitely put updates as to if you're going to be in Alabama or you live in that area where you can get tickets. And I've already had, it's funny because I already had a couple people ask me in messages and stuff, are you guys going to be in Huntsville again? Yeah. And so there's actually people that look forward to seeing us.
And it's a really good show. This will be our 3rd time at that show. It's a lot of fun. Jeremy, who runs it, is a good friend of ours, and his family become good friends, and they really do a good job. It's a really good show. A lot of fun.
It's a fun show, and there's lots to see, lots of vendors, and they have the different booths of merchandise and things, and
a lot of celebrities and comic artists and such. So if you're interested in that, come on out and say hi.
Come say hi. Watch our panel.
So that's not this coming weekend, but the following weekend after that. And then in 3 weeks after that, I think it is, we'll be at Spooky Empire
in Orlando.
So it's the last weekend, first 2 days of May. I think it's the 30th, 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, the very end of April. So we have 2 conventions that we are going to be at in April.
Technically, it's April, May, and then June we have Birmingham.
Oh yeah. So then there's another convention in Birmingham, Alabama that we will be guests at as well.
Magic City Con, which we've been at this will be a 4th year?
We started in 2017.
17, 18. So. Yeah, something like that. So this would be year 5. No, 4. I don't know how to do math.
I don't even know.
We're busy. We're going to be back there. So that's our friend Jamie who runs that one. And we'll be out there with her sister Rita and Jason, her husband. They run that. They do a fantastic job also. It's a fun show.
It's a fun show. And then somewhere in the middle of all of that, because, I don't stress enough, I would like to throw in a open house at Lost Princess Apparel at some point, because I said I was going to do one in the spring, and it just seems like we haven't been able to catch up. So I'm thinking maybe in May we'll do an open house for Lost Princess. Maybe.
Sure.
And it's so close to Disney, so if you're in the Disney World vicinity, you'll be able to come.
We'll figure out a time in May, because you got Mother's Day, you got Memorial Day.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
And we have something in the middle of May, but we'll get to that later.
So anyway, I guess that's it.
That's it. So we're busy. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back in 2 weeks. No, we won't be back in 2 weeks because we'll be driving home from Huntsville.
Well, shoot.
So we'll be back in 3, unless we do a show next week, and then we could do next week and then 2 weeks after that.
We totally could. Next week is the day after Easter.
Yes, the 5th. Is that right? Yeah.
He acts like I know days. I don't even know what the day is when I wake up in the morning. I wake up today and say, "What's today?"
Monday's show day. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Or she knows it based on what's on TV.
And Steph is asking about TMSM LOL. That will be in April. Also, God, April's going to be busy.
It's going to be, as long as everything goes well, it'll be the 20. I got to look at the calendar. I can't remember.
Stay tuned.
It's the last Sunday in April is if it works, that we're going to do it on. So that would be April 25th. But we're waiting to hear back from the venue.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We're working on it, and as soon as we have definite dates, we will let you know. And John will be back for the April show.
Yeah, we'll see.
And I think that's it. So please make sure Facebook has been terrible with alerts and things. If you go to our main page where you're watching now, check for updates because we still are putting out information all day, every day. Same thing with Lost Princess Apparel. We're having a $500 shopping spree photo contest for Lost Princess Apparel. You have to enter by Wednesday.
You just got to send a picture in your Lost Princess Apparel to contest@lostprincessapparel.com.
And don't worry, it does not have to be a professional picture because it's going by a voting system. We're not choosing. It's going to be by whoever you get to vote for you. So send us a picture. It's going to be a lot of fun. And who doesn't want $500 to spend on clothes? I mean,
at LPA.
I would love that. Yes.
So. You got over $500 with LPA.
I kind of do. So anyway.
Is that a New Jersey Scott? This is the Stanley one. I've had this one. The jerseys will actually be in this week. I've got 5 new ones coming in this week. Well, 4 new ones. One is we got more of the Boba Fett ones made because we ran out of a lot of those. But then there's 4 other jerseys that will be in this week. This is one of them. Should I tell them what the other ones are?
Oh, sure.
Mandalorian. We did one for Mandalorian. We did one for, I got to think what they Darth Vader. And then we did one for Loki. Also, I had other jerseys made, single ones, so I can see how they come out. And if we get those will be coming out soon.
Yes. So, So we have a lot of things in the works. This whole thing with the flood has kind of derailed us a little bit, but we will get everything.
Taking a little wind out of our sail.
A little bit of everything.
A little money out of our bank account.
A lot of money out of
a lot of money out of our bank account. But we're going to get back. We'll be fine. We will keep pushing forward. It will all work out.
So anyway, so a lot of shows are coming, lots of good things, lots of content, lots of new merchandise between pop culture jerseys and Lost Princess Apparel. So stay tuned for all of that. And I really appreciate you guys hanging, in the wings while we are getting all our stuff together because the past few weeks has been really hard, and I just don't ever want to feel like we're disappointing you by not being here for you.
And we might have to get started back on weekly shows again pretty soon because things are starting to pick up again.
They kind of are.
Disneyland's opening. I don't know if you
we
guys heard.
forgot to talk about that too.
April 30th.
Oh my gosh, I feel like we missed stuff.
We'll be at Spooky Empire, so we can't go to Disneyland. We can be anyway.
Well, actually, Disneyland is only going to be open to California residents to start with, so we can't go anyway.
But as soon as they do, I'm gonna hitchhike.
Hitchhiking ghosts. All right. Anyway, okay, we're gonna stop talking now and
stop talking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So we will maybe see you guys next Monday. Watch for updates because I will let you know, depending on what's going on with the house. But if not, we're gonna be doing live feeds from Huntsville.
Yes, we will be.
So you're gonna get to see us.
You know what we'll do is we'll run our panels live on our Facebook page from Huntsville.
Yeah. If you guys want us to do live feeds, live chats from the convention, let me know, and I'd be so glad to do that with you guys because there's a lot of time to fill at these conventions, and if you want to chat it up, we can do that.
And Jim Cummings is going to be there. The legendary voice of Minnie from Disney will be there.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh. He does so many of them. Jason Martin, is that how you say his name?
The voice of Binks the Cat.
Binks the Cat. He was also Max
is going to be there.
He'll be there. He's on bunch of voices himself. So there's going to be a few Disney represented. So we'll have to see if we can talk to some of these people.
That'd be really cool too.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it all out for you guys.
So thank you for tuning in. I really, really appreciate you all. If you have any, if you need help with any travel planning, please see MEI Mouse Fan Travel.
Becky was on them, she still is.
We have links on our site for her, and we will be back before you know it. Just we'll watch for updates. I will definitely let you know. And you guys have a great week. Have a wonderful Easter.
Yes.
And we will see you real soon. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.